Greetings mortals, I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld, and today we are finally reacting to the newest chapter 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, chapter 100! Congratulations Akaba, you managed to chapter 100 of your second series. Anyone a round of applause for Nakaba. I just confused Tabata with Nakaba. Well, the names are quite similar if you actually think about it. They're both fantasy series, so I'm gonna say it's not my fault, it's just, series similar. And I reacted them on the same date, so yeah. But regardless, let's get into this, into the chapter 100, and not gonna lie, for chapter 100, this is a surprisingly sad chapter. I mean, for God's sakes, the title of the chapter, Flames of Remembrance, is literally just more supposed to be like a, Viking-style funeral, if you really think about it in a sense. But, yeah, anyways, let's get into this chapter, shall we? As we start off with the first page being a color page, which is just kind of giving, which is similar to the, well, which is basically kind of a continuation of the previous chapter's flashback with Jade and Isolde and Cheon. As then we have the narrator saying, on that day I saw you, well, Jade saying, on that day I saw your back and it was too far away. So yeah, we also get to know, showing us volume 11 here, and yeah. As well as the information on the move on the anime, which we also get a bit below, and the voice actors. So yeah, it's a really nice it's a really nice, like, it's kind of poetic front page, although that's kind of, it just shows again why the cover isn't the best when it comes to coloring stuff, because the colors here look again too bright, too golden, just too much yellow. Anyways, then we have the proper first. Then we have the first page where we have Cheon just kind of walking towards Isolde and Jade looking at, as Donnie is calm as Cheon passes him. He's like, "Hey Cheon," as Cheon's, I guess, trying to process process what he's seeing, but his first response in this situation is like, "How did you even lose in a place like this? On your feet, Jade." So yeah, he's first thinking, oh, they're just lost. It's not they adapt or anything like that. And then we have Isolde telling him as she's crying, Gia, Jade is. I guess she finally realized that he's also that. As then when Gia, I guess, connects the dots, like, oh yeah, this is actual death. He's like, Percival, hurry up and heal Jade. As then we have Donnie a bit sweating, which kind of makes me think he knows what's going on with Percival's powers. As then we have Percival stop moving away from Anne to stop comforting her, because she was crying his arms that chapter. Although weird enough, it seems like she's kind of the same size as him now, or at least similar size. Maybe just a perspective thing. Or to be fair, it could just be an error in art. As they were just screaming, "No!" As the other person be like, "Right." As he approaches, goes to Jay and makes like a giant bubble of his Chibi Percival hat. I don't want to say it's the biggest thing we've seen of him from Chibi Percival's, but a pretty sizable bubble. I want to say like I would not say it's like 3 jades tall, big, and 3 jades wide. As then we have Jade on the floor, Chibi Percival's are over him, and then we see Percival struggling with all of his magic sent in. As then we see after that Cheon, I wanna say Cheon just having all of his blood and all that stuff being removed because it's all white, so it's not true. It's just a problem with the art because Nagapa's health problems. But yeah, we have all Chibi Percivals moving away, as then we have the 2 Chibi Percivals who are I guess in form, are telling them he's totally dead. Even with his wounds healed, he is still dead. So yeah. Now I'm really curious what these three Percivals are because they seem to be relatively independent. And though I wouldn't have an issue, like I feel like a lot of people are wondering what they are, especially with the end of one chapter when they were the reason why they didn't obey you is because they want to live. Like we all thought what was going to happen, and here it's like again kind of questionable because they seem to be kind of independent in the thought process. Like you can tell in Percival's face he's sad, and I feel like everyone else as well. Donnie and Percival, the one we got to see, or like, yeah, we and Percival cannot heal them. As they have Percival just looking at Chia and is like, I'm sorry. As they would have Chian be like, the least you can do is bring him back to life. As he's like points out that he should, and then we have Percival just telling him, not even the mini Percivals can do that. Which I guess is going to confirm the mini Percivals are the healers of the group, it's not Percival himself. As they have Chian being kind of like laughing and kind of like tries a little bit joke like, what is this? Because we picked that fight with you when we came to Camelot? Well, came to the kingdom, not Camelot. I don't know why I was going to reflect. It's a reflex. So I guess he's trying to explain it away as, oh, you just tried a dig because we picked a fight. Which, I don't know about that, Chia, since, I mean, Percival's group has been kind of relaxed on you guys, beating the shit out of them when they came to came to the kingdom for no reason. As there are Percival starting to cry, it's like, it's impossible. As then we have Chian close over Chion's eyes, and we have him grabbing Percival, starting to scream as I guess he's finally like processing Jade is gone and dead. As they're screaming, bullshit! You were dead just before you came back, didn't you? So he's screaming about how earlier in the chapters, which I guess this is the reason why Macduff had killed Percival, is to show that Percival has some kind of mortality ability. So yeah, I guess John thinks that, well, to be fair, it's a real logistical assumption to make, is that Percival has resurrecting capabilities, but unfortunately that's just something unique to Percival. Kind of makes you go, like, I want to say it's fair, but I feel like, if that's the logic that Chion has, doesn't he think Malaskila could bring herself back? Like, we have necromancers in the series. Like, necromancing type magic can exist in it. Again, Malaskila. And I guess, to be fair, Malaskila didn't, well, she did use it at the beginning. Maybe, like, I feel like the information that Malaskila has the capability of bringing back the dead should have been mentioned. How I offer himself pretty much like he can do it as well, though we haven't seen any evidence of it. But yeah, like, do you really think if necromancers could bring the others back, they like if necromancers cannot bring themselves back, even if they can bring everyone else, I don't see it's not far-fetched to say that someone could just bring themselves back, not everyone else. But yeah. Anyways, then we have Nausea and Sidali be pissed because the guy is, he's shaking Percival and screaming at him. As we see Anne still in the back crying. As we have Donnie screaming, don't blame Percival for that! As if Nausea is screaming, just calm down! As then we have Chion screaming, bring him back! As Isolde is still crying, as then we have Percival grabbing him by their hands. As Percival also starts to cry more openly, as he tells Gian, if I could do that, I would want nothing more than to bring my grandpa back. So yeah, basically like, oh, do you really think I want to bring? You really think I'm angry at you guys for picking a fight and that's why I'm bringing him back? No, I literally can't. Because again, like he's literally mentioning his grandpa, and there's no reason for Chion to think that Percival doesn't want to bring him back. By all accounts, he should think so. So yeah, he tells that to Chion, and then Chion's like, God, I guess you have a point. Like he realizes, like he doesn't really have a, like, he can't really argue that because what argument do you say? Oh, you just hate your grandpa. That's why you don't bring him back. Like, oh, you did bring him back. You just pretend he's that. Like, like what logic? You have to really go over overboard with your logic to explain why person wouldn't want to bring them back, want to bring Jade back if it's just a joke. Like honestly, if even if it was for a fight, I feel like Percival would at least like joke. First, you have to apologize, and then I'll bring him back. You know, it was such a non-existent problem. But yeah, anyways, he shoves Percival to the ground as they have Nausea and Anne looking at Percival. I mean, they know he's not hurt, but it's like, you know, your friend was shoved to the ground. As then we have Donnie just look at you and be like, Gian, you asshole! So yeah, Gian, you whatever kind of yeah, you guys are like going to get along in a way. I'm kind of hoping this is gonna be a time where characters are gonna start beating the shit off Gian more. Like I get it, it's more mature not to beat him, and this is a very stressful situation. But alright, the guy literally is the most unreasonable to you guys ever. Like even with though the Amish chapter kind of makes him more likable. Like I mean, characters still have to fucking punish him. Like characters have been less douchey to other characters and haven't been as and been punished 10 times more than what Gian is doing. Anyways, then we have Donnie regaining his senses. It's like, anyway, like that lady we caught just now, we gotta catch this huge old guy first. As then Donnie looks at the guy where Macduff was, as then he sees he's gone, as they're like, he's gone? Where'd he go? Medical just how no one knows him standing up or making any sound. Although to be fair, I guess so he could have just stabilized himself enough to use his magic, but I kind of question it. But then we see some alleyways as Macduff is like, huff, huff, whiz. As he's walking, as we see him like, ugh. I guess whatever Anne used was a very like short period of time spell, or maybe something else. I don't really know. Again, it's not really fully explained. And then we have Macduff just walking. It's like, I can't believe I was forced into retreating by mere children. Dude, you go up against the four knights who are supposed to be threatening Arthur. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be surprised at them making you retreat. In all honesty, at this point, I feel like every single holy knight of chaos should not be surprised that they have to that they are not as powerful enough to take down the four knights. I mean, for God's sakes, Lancelot's a thing. They have Macduff flinching as he senses something. They have Macduff being like, this magic. It's like, Tanef! As we see Tanef, we see that she was brought along. It's just, unlike, like last chapter she wasn't there, but this chapter it shows that she is being brought, but it's not like, she's not on the characters. We have one of the, I guess, big size mini Percivals just kind of like floating as she's, having her arms restrained. As then he's reacting to that. As then we have Tenek slowly waking up or processing the poison, which is what kind of poison did Nonsense use on her? Because I thought it was just like a paralyzation poison, but this poison makes, well, at least the way how it's shown in this chapter, makes it look like she's in actual pain from it. And she's like, Mick, duh. As there we have that giant Percival becoming smaller for some reason. Then as Macduff's like, are you being magically restrained? Yep. As in he goes there, grabs the Percival's hat, kind of tries to pull it off. As then we have me Percival be like, Bayoing! As Macduff lets it come back. So yeah, it's a very good like gum kind of like restraint. As they have Macduff, I guess, finally like, stabilizing from all the pain. Like he was whizzing and huffing a few seconds ago, but he's now gets back to stable. It's like, no signs of getting you even a little unstuck. Maybe I don't know. Like you went for the spell itself. I do wonder if like you could probably just like maybe if he had two arms, he might have tried to pull her. But yeah, I feel like you could probably just try to like grab one of her arms and like pull it down. But nope. As there we have Felix saying, please help me. As then we have that Macduff going into her jacket, as Telek's like, what are you? As then we have him pull out the flute, as Macduff's like, what's what's this? The gift you received from King Arthur is. So yeah, As then we have him explain, she's kind of looking at her kind of like smugly as McDuff's like, this whistle of Sinopros a magic island that summons multi-winged beast from purgatory. It is. So he's explaining us or giving us telling us what to do. As then we have McDuff saying to her, I'll be sure to put it to good use. But not for free, of course. We see Tarek a bit angry that he's taking her flute, or Arthur's flute he gave to her. As then we have Macduff be like, in return, I'll give you this. As he bites his glove and pulls it off. As then he grabs the glove and explains to us what this is. As he says, this, the magic item I was given, the glove of Gianni. The fine item that multiplies one's strength 4 or 5-fold. I'm sure it will greatly benefit someone as inherently powerless as you. I think he just puts it on her hat. Just puts the glove on her hand. Like, basically, he doesn't even like try to put it on her hands. Like, he just puts it on it. And then we have there be like, give that back. And she's kind of trying to, but it's nothing. So yeah, she's like basically as helpless. Like, all you gave was a magic item that honestly I don't even think would help. Like, if that thing really is that difficult, I don't even think putting extra shit would assist. Like, maybe it will give him better opportunity to recover from the poison, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, I want to have Macduff whistling for the magical beast. Well, it's kind of funny how Arthur gave the beast tamer a weapon to summon beasts, but it's not even requiring for them to be a beast tamer. Just literally anyone can use it. So yeah. Anyway, before we move on, I do want to address the whole. So from what we know, it doesn't seem like Macduff killed Tana here, and there's gotta be some question in why didn't he kill her? She could give information. Will there 4 knights? Now let's give a short person. The 4 knights can still continue the journey even if Tana is fully captured and sent to Lyoness. Why? Well, they're still not strong enough to go up against Arthur. Like, they haven't gathered allies, they still need time, and like legitimately speaking, right, their captains would go right now to Lyoness. Like, not like if they, like went straight to Camelot. I mean, Lancer doesn't have his weapon, and just in general, captors are way underprepared. So even if they already have a captured knight, and you don't have to concern about that area, like they would still be underpowered. So regardless of how I see it, the only thing that really changes is maybe they're going to have to wait a bit longer in the town or out of the town for, or maybe Lancelot's going to have to go back to Dolores to bring her in. Like, that's really all that I feel like is going to change. Like, little slight detour for one of the characters. Otherwise, I feel like it's going to be more or less the same. And second, well, if I'm interpret now, I have a theory about this line that Macduff says about her being inherently powerless in a way that makes me kind of think that Tenek's magic that we've seen her use isn't actually her magic, it's Arthur's magic that he's given her. Similar to how like the Red Demon's blood was giving New Gen Holy Knights magic. So I'm kind of getting that vibe where at that point it's gonna be like pointless because maybe Arthur just blow her up with a snap of his fingers and she gets captured. Who knows? If teleportation into Camelot's a thing, although to be fair, neither of them use it here, so I don't know if they even have a way to get there. Like, all they have, like, again, could probably be more of a benefit to Arthur than to the 4 knights because, you know, the 4 knights and their companions teleporting to lava, to molten lava of Camelot area or whatever. Boom, you get some that, or maybe all of them, or they just barely survive. Oh, but now you control wherever you want them. Just saying, this could ease, and how, maybe they get split up. Like, just saying, like, there are multiple reasons why Macduff would let Tanner be captured and it would benefit without being a problem. But anyways, then we cut back to the knights, as then we have Chion going into his pocket to pick something out. As they reach grabbing like a little ball that kind of looks like, you know, that stone that comes from volcanoes. As he says Vivaro with his language. As then we have that little thing flame coming out of it. As we see Salamander. As then we cut to Macduff retreating with that magical chaos predatory beast, which we end up kind of looks like a dog and serpent fusion with a few wings, but with five eyes. As then we have Jiansai. The target has fled this place. Follow his blood scent and leave no trace of him. Use the power of all your key that exists in this city. So yeah, this is gonna be a great, cool moment. I can already tell. And they have the Salman. I was thinking like looking goofy. Honestly, this is like say what you want about Fugolia not using Salman, and she literally beating him in that category. But the child, this the Salman does look a bit goofy as the Salman screams, "Blah!" As then we see Percival to look up at that. As then Percival looking behind him, he sense something as he sees the flame from one of the torches. I think one of them drops, kind of like just going into air, leaving the torch. As then we also have the from the people who are celebrating this, their torches fire from the torches also going up in the air with because small salamanders. As then we have this cool shot of the all the little flames or salamanders coming out of this city, the in the night sky. As then we get into our conversation between our past conversation between Jade and Chion. As we have, I'm guessing Jade saying, Chion, I envy you. I always care about what others think about me and try to act cool, hitting my true feelings because I can't stand them getting denied. As then we have Jade, well, Chion responding to Jade with, "You're a guy who insists that folks who claim to be, well, actually, I think that might just be Jade continuing, or Jade continuing. You are a guy who insists that folks who claim to be right or good are actually wrong and evil, or evil. Which is a pretty nice ideology and kind of a respectable one from Chion. Not gonna lie, I actually like this idea that he thinks people who just think they're right or people who have this like kind of more complex that they're actually both wrong and evil. I generally kind of like it. I feel like that's a very interesting perspective to have on the world. As there are Jails telling Chion, you don't want to bend your thoughts for others. As there we have Chion, I'm guessing using monochrome. I'm assuming, or maybe that it's one of the salamanders that will kind of be coming together into one giant fireball. As then we have Jianin saying, I'm sure, well, Jade saying, I'm sure I got this kind of magic job because I admired how black and white you are. So, yeah. Yeah, as then we have Jianin saying, Jade, is that as far as your loyalty to Sir Tristan goes? As they have Tristan looking up at this, running towards them as he sees Jian's magic. Uh, as then we have Tristan be like, that's Jian's Death Sky Burial. It's like, is this something that Jian has used before? They have Trishan running, as they have Jade responding to Jian in that flashback conversation with, don't get me wrong, as they have Trishan running, as Jade saying, I respect him, and from the bottom of my heart, I think he's amazing. As they have Trishan stopping, and he sees Jade, Jade being cradled by Isolde, as Jian is, I guess, kind of weeping a little bit, as they sees Trishan seeing this. Is there at the end of the conversation between Jay and Chion as Jay tells Chion, I just hate his guts. Because Tristan is so much better than Tristan is very much everything that Jay is, but better. He has better light and dark magic. He's a better swordsman. He's just generally better in every perceivable way than Chion. Like this is like one of those Tristan is literally like everything that Tristan is, but Tristan is better than him. Even it's a girl. Then we see the multi-winged snake dog creature flying. As there we see Macduff sensing magic behind him, or heat behind that. As there Macduff turning around, which seems kind of pointless since I think he's supposed to be blind. But regardless, Macduff's like, what is this abnormal heat? Which is pretty much like, yeah, it's abnormal heat. And there we see this giant kind of goofy looking salamander coming behind Macduff. And when I say giant, I mean his tongue, this salamander tongue, would basically be the same size, actually, it would be bigger than the fucking flying purgatory beast coming out and going to engulf it. And going to engulf Macduff. As in, we have this some golfing guy, as in it has like this cool shot of it fly. Like, this is not. I mean, this is from a away perspective. Right? It looks this cool shot of man just kind of flying from that. Oh, I wish you have Macduff screaming agony, being yeah, as he and the magical creature are both incinerated. Like they are dead. They are not even ash. This is ash. It's just becoming ashes kind of deal. So yeah, they are burned to hell. It's kind of funny how Macduff was the one making have a chance of escaping the other two, but he's the one that ends up dead in this chapter. Oh, maybe Dan's also gonna die. We don't really know. As you see after that engulfment, there's been a big explosion from the salamander, like it kind of looks like fireworks. Like, yay, 100 chapters! Everything's still standing. As then we get like this boom. As there have Jade still talking the flashback, as we have Jian looking down, as Tristan still looks at that shot, as we have Jade saying to Chian in the flashback, say Chian, do you think it's okay that a guy like me was in the Tristan platoon the whole time? As then we have Chian saying, it's fine, isn't it? I have no idea. Agenda says, I have no idea what reason you have to hate Sir Tristan. That's just how you are, right? And then we see Solar crying all over. And then we have Tristan and realizing what's going on. I mean, to be fair, Jay doesn't look good. Like he's dead, but Percival makes it completely look normal. Like as far as Tristan looks, like if Jay just saw Jay, he would probably think, "Oh, you just got knocked out by an anime." But now that he's seeing Isolde in tears and everything, he's realizing Jade is that. As then we have Chian saying, for me, being the only one to like Sir Tristan is enough. As there Jade to Spider-Man, haha, I know. I just know that you're my second favorite person, Jade. There we see the final panels of this chapter. We see Jade's lifeless corpse. As then we have Jade responding with Jay responding to what Chian said with, happy to hear that. Kind of a huge gap there, though. As then we see, which he acknowledges Chian would probably would not, it was not even close. Like, yeah, I'm his number two, but Chian likes Tristan way more than me. As then we see Chian just looking sad down as the shadows from the light, well, the shadows are coming from the light in the background kind of covers him in it. Which is probably the reason why everyone suspects that Chian might betray them and turn for Camelot, so he'll be bringing Jade back. And then we get this shot of all the fireworks disappearing as the narrator says, "Parting with our dear friend under a illuminated sky." End of chapter. Break next week. So yeah, it's a very sad chapter and kind of it's a very it's a from a chapter 100 where you would think there would be more of an epic final battle, more like a party. It's honestly a really good like tonal shift where it's more sad. Like there's some goofiness with the chief festivals, but chief festivals as they stand right now are not exactly the most serious things. Let's leave hope that stays that way. But yeah, it's a nice chapter overall. Or it's a pretty good 100 chapters. Honestly, I kind of get this like darker vibe from it. Like, well, 100 chapters in, and we already have one of the, I mean, not the most important characters dying, but a pretty close connected character to the Tristan platoon dying and leaving us. Now we also have some narrator the comments, the depth of combat who've been laughing merely with them just before. Unreliable feelings wait upon their boys and girls, which is just sadness. Which let's hope things do not. Which I do not know how this is gonna be processed. Like I do want to know there's gonna be a more of an angry expression towards Tristan. Although I could just see Tristan being like realizing next chapter, I can also see someone reacting to Nagata, like, "Where were you? What's going? Why didn't you help?" or something like that. But we will have to see. Although it's possible we're just gonna cut this for now, and then we're gonna focus the next chapter on Gawain and Lancelot versus the demons and Yolda, because Yolda is not here, and anything else. Although we could be getting something from that next chapter, but we have to wait and see 2 weeks for it. But yeah, anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts in this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And that's it. I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.